New Kids on the Block, I can appreciate.
Can you?
You've always just shown up and been yourself, unless you were acting and you had to be somebody else.
This is the first time I'm interviewing you. Wait, you know one thing we've never talked about? Well, we're not maybe covered a lot here is our music preferences, our music likes.
Give me pop music.
You like pop music? That's your genre?
Yeah, genre.
Is it like 80s pop, 90s pop,
All
2000s?
pop.
You want Y2K?
From all the way back, because I listened to a lot of oldies growing up with my parents. So
meaning oldies like what? Like Motown?
50s, 60s, yeah.
Elvis.
Motown, Elvis, all of that. Beatles, bringing it forward, to current. I love me some TikTok radio right now.
Oh, yeah. You told me about that the other day. What is
It's
TikTok
so
radio?
good. It's on Sirius, and it's delightful most of the time. There are some times where I have to turn it off where I'm like, I can't take this.
So
but
you and I were in a spin class the other day when they started playing that song that goes, run. Like,
yeah, we were both.
That everybody uses on TikTok. Yeah, but I was like, I didn't know this was a real song.
It's a real song.
I thought it was just a sound effect for like a horror movie that they put on TikTok.
It sounds like that, but it's a real song.
That was the first TikTok I ever did was a run. I thought it was really funny and nobody else did. But it was like I open the curtains in one shot and then turn and see the kid in the bed, get closer to the bed and closer to the bed, and then it goes run and he just lays there. It doesn't move. Because I thought it was really funny that like
nobody else got it.
Normally people do run and then like something happens, but I thought it was funny that he just stayed asleep. I thought it was kind of goofy. I don't know. Nobody likes my TikToks apparently. Well, I've been stepping it up.
Better.
I'm getting a little bit better.
I try and then I give up and then I try again and then I give up again.
Same.
I want to be good at it for you.
Sometimes. Thank you.
That's the only reason.
Thank you. Well, my music. So I'm kind of all over the board. I'm not one of those people that like has to wear headphones all the time or listen to music all the time. Kind of listen to the same things. I don't really like music in the car unless it's Lithium, which is my 90s rock.
You are a 90s alt fan.
I like my 90s rock. I like my Foo Fighters and going back to like the Seattle grunge, like I'm a huge Smashing Pumpkins fan but it all started with The Clash, I'd like to say. And it's funny, on my way here today, there was a guy sitting next to me at the stoplight blasting some Clash.
Did it make you happy?
Loved it. Yeah, it was Rock the Casbah.
Well, since we're taking it back old school, guess what I took my kids to this weekend?
Oh, what?
You're not going to be happy about this.
Was it?
It was
dun 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 dun. The right stuff.
Yeah.
That seems like so long ago. Was that the New Kids on the Block?
It was New Kids on the Block, Salt and Peppa.
Oh, really? I love them.
Rick Astley and In Vogue.
It was In Vogue?
In Vogue was
They're
phenomenal.
Incredible. I was in a fashion show for like heart disease. The American Heart Association does this like red carpet thing. What do you call it? Like a walk the catwalk thing. And I had to do it a few years ago. It was a little scary. I barely fit in the dress. And Vogue was there, and they sang. I was backstage, so I didn't get to hear them with like the best acoustics, whatever the amps and stuff. But my husband was out front, and he was blown away.
They were incredible. They did such a good job. All of the acts really did.
Well, if I had known they were all there, I would have gone. We know I'm not. Look, New Kids on the Block. I can appreciate.
Can you?
And one of my friends from high school married Joey McIntyre.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But
he's still real cute, by the way.
Yeah, but like
he did "Please Don't Go, Girl," and the whole room was like,
"Is Donnie in?"
Oh yeah, Donnie
was there. He was there.
Yeah.
I can appreciate them for what they were. It's just that I wasn't like a boy band girl. I was a grunge girl. I was into.
That's fair. Everybody had their things.
I love like Stone Temple Pilots, and I love Soundgarden and Pearl Jam, and like those are and I still to this day love those. And the newer versions of those I would say is like Breaking Benjamin and Seether, and so they just played in Alabama.
This is how your husband bonded. You and your husband, clearly, because y'all have the same taste in music.
Luckily, I happen to like his music because his is a little bit maybe more Southern rock feel. But he was on tour with Creed and Nickelback, and so that kind of band in those days. Those ones don't really stick to me, funny enough.
I don't know.
They don't stick that much to me.
I bet you know every word.
I do. My husband's I do.
Look at this photograph.
Yeah, there's, I kind of yeah. Some of them are pretty cheesy. But then again, so is, New Kids on the Block. Just kidding. But I go across the board. I love rap. Actually, not so much rap as hip hop.
You know what I miss more than any other genre, which is kind of ridiculous to even say this out loud, but like 90s country. Do you remember when it had such a moment?
No.
No,
I
like
was in New York.
Shania Twain, Garth
I was in New York.
Brooks.
For you in the South, that's what that was about. For me,
I
it
feel
was
like it
Billy
was
Joel,
worldwide.
Bruce Springsteen.
I feel like it was worldwide. This was like a moment. Reba.
I do know a little, like Sheryl Crow. Is she considered Southern, or she was more like
That
California?
was more like California pop.
okay, like guitar, like acoustic-y.
But yeah, there was just this moment in the 90s where,
But I do remember a little Shania. Yeah. Man, I feel like a woman.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know there was and then Carrie Underwood. I can dig her. I can vibe with her.
Now country doesn't do it for me as much. There's
I like some of the
great
poppy,
songs.
like, well, I actually went down to Broadway the other day. I had a friend in town and we went down to the Johnny Cash Museum.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because living in Nashville now, there's more music in my life than there ever has been. I'm going to shows like once a week. My husband's going like 3 a week.
Yeah, when you first moved here, you were like, I don't really like concerts.
I don't go to
unless
concerts unless I know all
and
the
I was like,
songs.
okay.
But then I went to 311 when they were in town, and Primus the other day was in town, and that was like Primus. I knew I didn't know a lot of their songs. I was waiting for Winona's Big Brown Beaver, which is like my favorite song that they sing. You've never heard it, have you?
Probably not.
No, it's such a good song. But the thing about Primus, and I knew this was going to be a thing, it's kind of like going to see the Grateful Dead or, a band that just can jam and play, like Allman Brothers. Like, that you're going to love whatever's going to come out of them, no matter, like, they just have this amazing sound to them. And Primus is so cool because the lead sound is a bass.
Yeah.
And he's got a whammy bar on his bass. And it's so groovy and cool. And you're just like, like, it's just so fun and cool.
Got to get out there and noodle.
Love it. There were people with like the chains on, like the hippie girls in the back with the chains on, and they're just vibrating, and you could hear the little jingles going on in the back, and they were just having too much fun. People lighting up lighters and getting in trouble with the rhyming. But I've just been having a lot of fun with these shows, and like, yeah, and I mean the music's been incredible. Even down here in Nashville, everyone at the church sings beautifully, plays beautifully. It's
It was so. When I first moved to Nashville, one of the things that I both loved and hated when trying to find like a church to go to was that people would like name drop, like, well, so and so leads worship up here, so and so plays drums, and you got to hear his solo during the worship service. I'm like, there's a solo during the worship, but we are so incredibly blessed to live
so
here,
much talent
where we're just
around here.
surrounded.
Yeah.
So yeah, church services are a different ball game here.
Yeah. And I love being close enough to a downtown. Like when I lived in Connecticut, New York was so far away. And when I was living in New York City, I didn't really go to that many concerts. But the concerts were always in Jersey at the big venues, unless they were at Madison Square. So before I left Connecticut, I was actually going to Billy Joel a lot. He has a monthly residency at MSG, Madison Square Garden, for all those non-New Yorkers.
It's not the Spice.
In the other tri-state area. I know everybody has a tri-state area, but our tri-state area was New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. And so MSG is known to those tri-staters. And Billy Joel would play once a month, and me and my friends would go in once in a while. And man, it was so much fun. Did you just hear that? That was my stomach, like right here. It sounded like a baby bird.
the twin you ate in utero is trying to get out.
Like, what was that? That was the weirdest sound to ever happen in my body. It sounded like my boob farted.
What is that movie where he's got the character has the person in his
the person. Recall, Total Recall. I love that movie. No, he opens up his chest, right? Doesn't he have the
Whatever
person
it
in
is,
his
and there's
chest?
like a
Or in a
person.
backpack or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, that little person. That's what I just had. That's what I just had in my rib cage. My rib cage farted in a weird way. I hope you all at home could hear that. My twin sister. Instead of a third nipple, I have a second person attached. But anyway, back to MSG. Oh, Billy Joel. I love Billy Joel.
I love Billy Joel too.
He's like, all of his songs are amazing. There's a few I don't know, which always shocks me. But like, Pressure is like the best song ever. Go listen to that again. Like some songs that still hold up are Land of Confusion, which I think Disturbed did a version
still
of.
hold up. Are you kidding?
But I'm talking about now. I've switched to Genesis, and what's his name? Genesis is Phil Collins.
Oh, okay.
So Land of Confusion, that song really holds up now, but Disturbed did a cover of it. I think it's Disturbed did a cover of it. Maybe it's like POD or something. And then there's like Billy Joel, I want my husband to do a cover of Pressure so bad. Somebody's got to do like a rock version of Pressure.
That would be
like,
awesome.
Yeah.
That would be
It's instead of the synthesizer that he used, if you could get in there and be like, Pressure, bam, bam. Oh,
well,
it's such a
and I went through, when Chris Carrabba was here, we revealed all of my scene kid emo.
your emo
past.
phase.
So all of that is still very much.
What did you
dear
call
to
it?
me.
Sing Kid?
Scene kid.
Scene Kid.
Yeah.
What does that
The
mean?
music scene.
Oh, the music scene. Oh, that kind of
well,
scene.
really what we were anti-conforming conformist. We all thought we were, super original. But yeah, we all had the same hair. and
Well, the
lots
same
of
with grunge,
eyeliner.
right? Everybody's got in grunge. It was everyone. All the guys have long hair. All the girls have. Everyone's got their flannel tied around their waist. Like
Yeah, it was
such a
kind
thing.
of a movement like that. But
it has to be.
I still hear all of those songs and get very nostalgic, and still a soundtrack to a moment in my life that I don't necessarily want to relive, but I like to visit every once in a while.
Well, and I love things like Blondie, and then things my mom listened to, like the Allman Brothers or Fleetwood Mac. Fleetwood Mac, I love.
Pat Benatar.
Pat Benatar, fantastic. Yeah, I mean, so I feel like coming to
Cher.
Nashville. Cher's fun.
If I could turn back time,
Oh,
I have
gosh.
this vivid memory of seeing that music video for the first time and the bodysuit on the boat and the like, if I could reach, you know.
Oh my gosh, that's so
my
funny.
God.
My girlfriends in California that I did Sabrina with, 3 of them got married the same year. So we did this huge bachelorette party, and at the bachelorette party, we all went to Cabo San Lucas for the bachelorette party. So we're in Cabo, and every night in the Cher song, do you believe in life after love? That song was really popular at the time. So every club we went to, or like every hour they would play that song, and then I was going like, "Is this for the LA girls?" And then they do
I do
you
it
believe
again.
And so at each of our weddings over the years, we always, or like a big party, a 50th birthday party, whatever, we always have to play that Cher song. It's funny how like stuff like that.
You know what that
becomes-
memory also reminds me of, though? Probably the first time I can remember ever watching our guest this week on television.
Oh, really?
Yes, sitting in my grandmother's living room with my mom. It's early in the morning. We watched the music videos on MTV, ate breakfast, probably the Muppets somewhere in there, and then we turned
The
on
Muppets.
her show.
You turn on Regis and Kathie Lee.
Yeah,
Did you?
there she was.
Well, let's
Every morning.
introduce our lovely guest. Speaking of music, she is very into music. So today we have. I like to refer to her as America's longtime sweetheart.
She is.
She is, right? Because most
Everyone's
of you
best
spent your
friend.
mornings with her in your home, not her home, but your home, while you were sipping on your coffee and you were enjoying hearing her chat with her co-star, Regis Philbin, on Live with Regis and Kathie Lee. And most recently, also on the Today Show, the 4th hour with Hoda. What was it? It was Kathie Lee and Hoda. It was called the 4th hour of Today Show. She was born in France, funny enough, little
Wild.
known fact. Born in France because her father was in the military. Raised in Maryland, longtime resident of Connecticut, and now Nashville. Kathie Lee has a long list of accomplishments
Long list.
and credits. From musical theater, 16 great song albums. She guest starred on dozens of popular TV shows, sometimes as herself, but sometimes not. She wrote 27 books. By the way, Wikipedia says it's like 4. She corrected me. It's actually 27, you guys.
so amazing.
And children's books. So I don't know if in the 27 is
I'm
children's
sure
books.
that hopefully she counted those too.
Yeah, maybe. She's been nominated for, oh my gosh, how many?
A
she said
Tony Award?
Emmys. Tony Award for her
50
play, Scandalous.
4 Emmys?
50. I think she was nominated 4 times for Emmys and took home 4 of them.
No, 50 Emmys.
50.
And took
sorry,
home
sorry,
4.
50 and took home 4.
Yeah.
And yeah. and
Wild.
I think the most recent was 2019 with Hoda. And they were all as talk
a
show
host.
hosts.
Yeah.
She has a Hollywood star on the Walk of Fame, and she dives headfirst into her charity work. And I've known her since I went on her show. I assume it was for Sabrina the first time, probably in 1996. But this is the first time the tables are turned, and I am going to be interviewing her.
Not
So
any
weird.
pressure at all.
No, so weird, but also so exciting. What a different phase of our lives.
I am personally so excited about this. I've wanted to meet this woman my entire life.
I feel like people adore her and want to hear from her. And so let's see what she has to say. Should we bring her in?
Yes.
Come on in, Kathie Lee.
So, Melissa, I'm so
Yeah.
excited for you. You've been really working hard on getting your immune system up and going really well and getting your body in shape. What's your secret weapon now?
Well, I've been using AG1. Do you know AG1?
I have heard of this.
It's made by Athletic Greens. It's great. It tastes great. You do a scoop. Oh, no, because I know those veggie things can be not so tasty. This one is pretty yum.
What do
You
you
like
do?
put a scoop in your water in the morning, and it, oh my gosh, it helps in so many ways.
So tell me what it's doing for you.
So with 1 scoop of AG1, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food sourced superfoods, probiotics, all kinds of good stuff, right? It's
Oh.
lifestyle friendly. You can eat it when you're keto, paleo, vegan, dairy-free, gluten-free, all the things.
So it's good for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it costs less than $3 a day. So you're investing in your health and it's cheaper than that cold brew habit.
And I love this. They're sustainable too. for every purchase, they donate to organizations helping to get nutritious food to kids in need, including No Kid Hungry here in the U.S.
That's
and
amazing.
Yeah, they do like climate neutral, certified, all that good stuff.
That is amazing. So right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just 1 scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills or supplements to look out for your health.
Yeah, and to make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/WWB.
Again, that's athleticgreens.com/WWB to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
Thank you, Athletic Greens, for supporting What Women Binge. So I am so excited that you're here today.
I'm happy to be here with you. I love your little studio. It's so
Thank
cozy.
you. It's cute. Amanda designed it. But this is rare. This is rare because in the however many years we've known each other, this is the first time 30 years, I'm interviewing you. So weird.
It must be the thrill of a lifetime.
You know what? I'm terrified right now because I'm
so
still,
much to learn.
and I'm still learning how to do this. So, feel free to lean over with any pointers that you think.
You're going to be a total natural at it. You already are because you've always just shown up and been yourself. Unless you were acting and you had to be somebody else. But you know how to do that.
Thank you.
Yeah. And the people that make it look easy, unfortunately, that makes it seem easy to other people and everybody thinks they can do it.
That's true.
It's not. Except the one thing you got to do is be who you are, be authentic, and listen.
And you did, and that's why people loved you for so many years on live, and then again on today's show.
Thank
you're just
you.
you're as I said in the opening, you're America's longtime sweetheart. You are.
You didn't read some of my mail.
You're everyone's
we all
best
get hate.
friend. My whole, your career spans my whole life, but every single section of my life along the way, there is something where I look back and I'm like, oh my gosh, I was watching this when this happened.
I know.
And I feel like you're my best friend sitting right here. Like I've known you forever.
You know what? I feel so blessed that I've been able to have as long a career as I've been able to. I started out as an actress and a singer. That's all I ever wanted to do. And people, every time when I left Regis and I left Hoda, at the height of the success of it, and first of all, people can't understand that. Mm-hmm. But I always just listened to that inner voice. The Lord always told me when it was time. And people would say, how could you give up your dream job? And I'd say, well, maybe it's not my dream job. It never was. Maybe it would be yours.
Yeah.
But my dream job is what I'm doing right now, which is writing films, writing oratorios, just
reviving your Broadway musical.
Reviving my Broadway musical. Hopefully we'll be allowed to announce that again soon. That was a big heartbreak for me. It's over when God says it's over. People go, how are you enjoying retirement? And I just laugh. And I go, who said I retired?
You're busier than ever.
Nobody in the Bible ever retired.
Yeah.
They died doing what God put them on the earth to do.
Yeah.
One person disappeared, Enoch. They don't know where he went. Elijah went up into a chariot of fire. And last seen, John, the apostle, the disciple John was, on an island somewhere writing the book of Revelation. But everybody else died doing what God put them on this earth
Well,
to do.
it's interesting too because you're an artist, and if you started out acting, and even though you are known to people as a talk show host, mostly, but you're a musician. You love to sing, right? And you love to write, and you love to direct. And I think that you always, as artists, we always want to recreate and keep creating.
Well, that's just it. I always marveled at Susan Lucci that she was so happy for 35 years to play the same character.
Yeah.
I would have lost my mind about maybe after 3.
I agree.
Yeah. And the reason I was able to continue doing different things was because I worked in the morning. I worked with Regis. I was done at 10 o'clock in the morning, and then I worked with Hoda. I was done by 11, and I could raise my children. I lived in Greenwich, Connecticut. I always commuted, and then I had a whole big day to fill up.
Yeah.
So I was
and be
always
with your
writing
kids and be at home for dinner. And yeah.
So I was grateful for it, and but it was never my dream job.
But you stuck with it for a good long time. Nobody can say that you quit. All of a sudden
No, it was 15 years with Regis.
you
and
did
11 with, but I
that's a chunk of time. Look, my series that lasted Sabrina lasted 7, Clarissa was 4 years, Melissa and Joey was 5 years. Those are big chunks of time. That's your high school career over and over.
That's your life. That's a big chunk of your life.
Yeah, so the time that you did it, but you see, I'm jealous because my dream job was always to do a talk show. Once I moved to Connecticut, actually, kind of following your footsteps, moved to Connecticut, I wanted to do that because I wanted to be home in the afternoons. I wanted to get my work done in the morning and have sort of almost a 9 to 5 or like a 6 to noon or so,
No, it worked out perfectly for me because my children were young, and when I worked with Regis, we owned the show with Disney. That my kids grew up at Disney World.
Well, and I love how much you shared about them on the show. I remember that when I was a young girl, watching the show and hearing you talk about your children was always so lovely. And
well, a lot of people hated me for that.
Oh, why?
Oh, Howard Stern, different people like that. Because what Regis and I did for all those years, and Regis did it for a long time before I got there, and did it for a long time, after I left. He was the best, by far, the very best at it in the world. But we talked. Nobody had ever done it before. We talked about our lives for a living.
Yeah.
We didn't have one writer.
Shared. Yeah.
We had one producer, Gelman. We just made fun of the whole time,
who became like the sidekick.
Well, yes. We called him the monster. He became the monster. But and it was actually quite creative because it was almost like theater. Yeah. You just make it up as you go along, that kind of theater. And I learned so much from Regis. I was just out in Los Angeles 2 days ago, and I had lunch with Joanna, his daughter, and Joy. And we didn't have a whole lot of time to reminisce because I was being honored yet again for something. I said, you know what, I think that the vultures are circling because I'm getting honored all the time now.
Everybody is.
It's like everybody's just, we better honor her quick because the woman's on her way out.
Well, there's literally nothing you haven't done.
No way.
Porn. I have yet to do porn.
Is that on the bucket list?
Well, you know what? My father once said to me, in fact, he said it all the time, honey, find something you love to do and then figure out a way to get paid for it. And I used to laugh with him and I go, Daddy, I'm glad you told me that before I had sex or I would have been a hell of a hooker. And my daddy was the straightest man in the world. He'd be like, like that.
Oh my gosh.
That's funny.
That is great.
So you have done everything from, I know you love to sing.
Well, I loved music when I was growing up, and I was not a very good singer. My sister was the singer in the family. And but I loved music. My dad was a jazz saxophonist, and my mom had a beautiful singing voice. My sister was a natural coloratura singer. And I had a big, big voice, but it was not, I had no finesse. I had no classical training at all. So my sister went to a teacher, and I went to her finally, and I sang a few scales for her and sang a song or something like that. She was a very sweet woman, but she looked at me and she goes, Kathie, with that look.
Oh, no. The bless your heart.
Mm-hmm. And we weren't even in the South.
Oh,
she gave me the look, and she said, honey, stick to harmony.
Oh.
And she did me such a favor. I was so angry. I'll show her I can sing. I will show her I can sing. And she was a very nice lady. It's just that it was that attitude. What would have discouraged another person encouraged me to just, all right, if people are going to think that you're not a singer, then become a singer. So I did. I had a 45-year singing career.
Yeah, you have how many albums did you put out?
16 albums.
And are 2 of them Christmas albums?
I think so.
Yeah, I love the Christmas songs.
And by that time, I'd started, writing all my own stuff too, and collaborating with other writers. So it's just a way you can grow all the time. And
you've just been very busy.
I am actually busier now than I've ever been in my life since I left the Today Show.
Wow.
But here's the difference. I'm doing what I want to do now.
Yeah. So
on
you're
my
passionate
own
about
schedule.
It. Yeah.
I loved having a job all those years, but I never missed a sick day in all those years of daytime TV. And I had to be somewhere. Even at 5, I had my babies, and 5 weeks later with cesareans, I was back on the air.
Let's go. Get out there.
You know why? Because I knew the show would suffer if I was gone. Because it always suffered when I wasn't there or Regis wasn't there. People wanted to see us together.
And this is the thing. Even though you took some slack for talking about your kids and stuff, it was about your life and it was about you becoming friendly with the audience. But that's also got to be a fine line. I'm finding it here sometimes too. But when I get interviewed on a show or something, in case you share too much.
Oh,
You know,
right,
you share
yeah.
too much and say something, and all of a sudden you get burned for it or something.
Well, you've picked an interesting time to be doing it. This. You know, I almost thank God every day I'm not on live television anymore because I just say stuff. And you know, they've been trying to cancel me for 45 years on daytime TV, and you can't cancel somebody that will not be canceled.
No.
Because you're not going to keep me from being who I am. You know?
Yeah.
And so I just feel badly that we live in the kind of culture, although I think it's the pendulum swinging back now. You know, it's stupid to cancel people.
Well, you have to be so careful what you say and what you do, and you know, you might not believe the things you say. Things might come out of your mouth, and of course we should all be careful about what comes out of our mouths. I always tell my kids it's like the toothpaste, right? You squeeze it out and you
Hard
can't
to get
put it back
in.
in.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, especially when you're trying to fill content, you're trying to fill an hour of talking, or you're trying to, you know, just be conversational and real, and something might come out that maybe you don't even really mean, but
Right.
you know, you can't backtrack that. It's out there, it's recorded, it's there for everybody to hear.
And I think that what you have going for you, something like you, although you're still on, you know, I'm still learning about you. You're
Cutting the eyes
jury's
to
out.
Amanda.
Oh,
No, I'm kidding.
I think you're gonna like me.
I adore
I'm
you.
gonna claim
You're
it.
so cute. You're so much fun already. No, people have gotten to know you as characters through the years, but they also have gotten to know your character
Yeah,
as a human being.
I think so.
And they will be merciful to you for it. You know, I mean, maybe new people coming along will have a fit about it. But when I was accused of certain things through the years that were just not true, I was accused of sweatshop abuses or something way
remember
back.
that.
This lady came to, and that was one of the darkest times in my life because it was just, I'd spent my whole life being an advocate for children.
Yeah.
Frank and I were about ready to open up a $14 million home for AIDS and crack babies, and I'm being accused in front of Congress of running sweatshops. I said, yeah, I've been working for children my whole life, trying to change their lives, save their lives. I think it'd be fun to put a few of them to work behind, you know, in a sweatshop now.
Yeah, it doesn't make
I mean,
sense.
which use a little bit of common sense. It was a whole other thing. It was an attempt by a union to
was
unionize Walmart.
Was that around the start of like all these lawsuits happening, like people suing McDonald's for hot coffee and
You know what? It was in 1996, and it was a terrible year to be accused of that. I mean, I ended up getting laws changed, and God used it profoundly.
Well, and you turned it around in a big way.
I turned it around because even though I had no sweatshops, you have to have factories and hire people to work in them to have a sweat. I didn't ever have any factories and never hired anybody. It was, you know, I had a licensing agreement with Walmart.
Yeah.
And just like Michael Jordan did with Nike and Kathy Ireland and
But
everybody
you got to
else.
shine a light on that issue.
Well, once I realized that it was an issue, I did not even know that they still existed. And they're everywhere. I had no idea. I'd never experienced it before. So once I realized that they do exist, even though I didn't have any, I thought, well, I'm going to do some good about this. I might as well turn this lemon into something. You know?
You did, yeah.
Right, but my point is, I came to work with Regis one day, and there's this lady standing in the audience. She goes, Kathie Lee. I go, yes, hi. And she goes, recognize this? And it was one of my dresses. Oh. And I said, oh, you're wearing one of my Kathie Lee casuals. And she was so sweet. She goes, yes. And you know what? When that man accused you of that, what he said you did, I got so mad I ran out to my local Walmart and bought 5 of your dresses.
Oh.
So that's what you get if you stick around long enough and continue to be who you are, continue to live your life with integrity.
Yeah.
You know,
A
am I
solid
going to
fan
say
base.
something once in a while that somebody's going to be offended by? Sure, especially in today's world. But do I mean it maliciously?
Yeah, no.
So it's about what Martin Luther King had. It's the content of our heart, our character.
Yeah.
And nobody remembers that now. It's just, nope, you're gone.
Well, it's a weird
It's true.
expectation, especially of our most creative humans, to be these moral examples
High
to
ground.
everyone.
Yeah.
Like the Bible's very clear. Humans are inherently bad.
Yeah.
And I would hope that the majority of humans have learned good behavior, but we're all going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
See, I don't think they're inherently bad. I truly don't. I'm not to get into a battle about it, but you look at a baby that comes into this world, and I'm about to welcome my first grandchild.
Yay.
We don't know if it's a little boy or a little girl. We don't care. But that child is coming into the world, and that baby just came from heaven.
Mm-hmm.
True.
And everything's perfect in heaven. Now, what happens is this world affects us, influences us,
sure.
pulls on us, seduces us, and we start making bad choices, just like Adam and Eve did. But I think we are inherently born as children of God and righteous in His sight until we choose to disobey Him. And even then, He welcomes us back with such love, like the Father in the prodigal son. That's what He does.
I agree. Like, it's interesting.
love
We've
that
had this.
perspective.
Amanda
Yeah.
and I have had this debate a few times about this, about like natural sin, or like
Yeah.
it's interesting. It's an interesting. I don't know. I fluctuate on it. I want to believe that everyone is born.
We're
totally
born
pure and
into
innocent.
this world with the potential, just like Adam and Eve, to make good or bad choices.
Yeah.
And the Word talks about choose life that you may live. And Jesus said, I came into this world to save it, not to judge it.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I want to talk about your book.
Yeah.
So you have this wonderful book. When did this come out?
That came out in early December.
It is The Jesus I Know. So tell us a little bit about this book, because it sounds really interesting.
Well, you know what? I hope it will be. It is to a lot of people. It's doing extremely well out there. And I never write a book because I think, oh, this will sell. This will make the New York Times bestseller list. I don't live my life that way. I never make choices that way. I pray about everything, and I make my agents and my everybody feel like crazy. Why do you want to do that? I said, because I feel like I'm supposed to. And most of the time I've been right. I've made some bad investments, and there was that first marriage. But anyway, there's not everything.
We live and learn.
Exactly.
But yeah, this one is kind of interesting that way because I just had a big success with a book called The Rock, the Road, and the Rabbi, and then I had another one called Thank You. Then I had another one called It's Never Too Late, when I was leaving the Today Show, and so this next time I was on the phone with my literary agent at UTA. He's a wonderful guy. Love him. He's brilliant. But on paper, if you described him and you described me, we would be two people that would seem to have nothing in common. He's male. Can you say that still? I'm sorry, he's male, okay? He's male.
As long as he approves.
Yes, he's male, he's gay, he's Asian, he's Buddhist. I am none of those things, but I love this man.
Yeah.
And the differences that we have between us, our common ground is our sacred ground. And he doesn't believe in a lot of the things that I do, or probably vote the way I do. But I love the guy, and I respect him and admire him. And so he said, "What do you want to do for the next book? Your books are doing so good." I said, "You know what? I don't know. I don't have a leading." He said, "The times, Kathie, you talk in all of your books about your experiences with other people and the conversations you've had about their faith, whether it's with Craig Ferguson in the Highlands on the set of the film that I wrote for him called Then Came You, or it's or Al Pacino sitting in your garden talking with him, or it's whoever." He said, "I find those conversations that you have about faith with people so fascinating. Would you ever think about doing a whole book on it?" So I said, "Let me pray about that. Let me think about that." And I thought to myself, you know what? I go on these rabbinical trips to Israel, and they are the most unbelievable, life-transforming trips a human being
We've got to
make.
get
She wants me to
Melissa
go.
Israel.
Oh,
Wait, what's
she's
that?
never
What's
been.
the word you just used? Rabbinical?
Rabbinical.
What does that mean?
That means you study rabbinically, meaning you study basically with this might scare some people, but rabbis.
Okay.
You study with Messianic. I study with Messianic rabbis. These are
what she is.
Jews who believe and love Jesus, but they know the Torah. They know they know 10 layers down, and they know, most importantly, rabbinically means study this the way the Bible was written.
Okay.
The Bible was written in Hebrew in the Old Testament, and it was written in Greek in the New Testament.
Is that what the other book is about then?
The Rock, the Road, and the Rabbi is about my different rabbinical trips.
Oh, I'm going to check that out too.
Yeah, and you would love that because, that book, I thought, nope. But because I got angry at not being taught right in Sunday school.
Yeah.
And not being told the truth about what the Bible really says, I thought, because this is what people say to me all the time, why hasn't anybody ever told me this?
Exactly.
And so the Lord spoke to my heart. I had no intention of writing that book. And I was mad. And he says, tell them what you've been taught.
Yeah.
Don't get mad. do something about it.
Yeah, there you go.
So I started writing the book, and I did about 50 pages, and I realized I don't have a book. I have a pamphlet. So I called my friend, one of my friends who's a brilliant teacher, Rabbi Jason Sobel, and I said, will you write this book with me? I'll tell about my experiences, and then you take us deeper into, he'll always start it out, but there's more. And that's what so many people in our world are longing for now, is more depth.
Yeah.
The stuff we've been taught isn't working. You know, our churches are lukewarm. We don't have the power we should have. We should have miracles abounding in our churches, but we don't believe in miracles anymore. I believe the gifts of the Spirit are complete. Jesus said, greater things than I ever did you will do in my name if you trust me, because I'll send you the Holy Spirit. And so I hang out with people that have seen dead people come back to life. I hang out with people who are faith healers, who have been to places like Rwanda where they've cut off people's arms and they've seen new limbs grow. And people go, this is insane. I have seen it myself. I've seen a lot of miracles like that because I believe.
Yeah.
And if we have eyes to see and ears to hear, God will show us. And people can think I'm a crazy Looney Tune, but don't tell me what I've experienced or not.
No.
I've experienced demons.
Yeah.
So you can't tell me demons don't exist. I've seen them.
Yeah.
I've been visited by them. I've watched them flee. And, so I think our lives should be, our walk with Jesus should be far more experiential than just intellectual or
I love that. I'm going to check out that book. And then, so this one, is that what, so when you're interviewing these people, so I see like Kristen Chenoweth.
Yes, I love Kristen.
And like Kevin Costner, and you said Craig Ferguson.
There's also some of the people that I've just mentioned before in books, so that I didn't do interviews with those two guys.
Okay.
But I tell the stories about them. But I did 25 interviews.
And are they, and so they're all different. Every one of these people has a different walk of faith or different faiths.
A different everything. And that's why I like them. And so on one of my rabbinical trips, I said to the Lord, instead of taking people that have grown up in the church, just never been to Israel, that's what I often did. And I gave out scholarships through my foundation for young people to in fact, I sent 50 people from a seminary at Gateway Church at King's College years ago, just because I wanted them to study that way. If they're going to study and graduate, graduate knowing what the Word of God actually says, So this time I said, Lord, I feel like you want me to invite people that I love but don't believe like I do. But they're beautiful human beings, and they're supposed to come and have that experiential adventure. And so we put together maybe 25 people or so, and it ended up being one of my favorite trips because I took Scientologists. I took agnostics and atheists. I took brokenhearted Catholics and confused Baptists. I took people that are Sikhs and Hindus. Yeah. And so their stories are in here.
Wow.
But they talk also about how they were changed by studying the rock, Yeshua, Jesus, on the road, which is the Holy Land, the rock with the rabbi, not particularly any rabbi, but rabbinically.
Yeah.
And every single one of them was changed, radically transformed, and they've never been the same since.
Wow.
Two of my Scientologist friends, one of them writes my Broadway stuff with me, my off-Broadway stuff, David Pomerantz, and his son, Nicholas, who was 14 at the time. Nicholas was the first one. He'd grown up in Scientology. First one jumped into the Jordan River to get baptized.
Wow.
And they took communion at the end. We're in the Garden of Gethsemane before we left on our way home. And when I did my latest film that's coming out this August, it's called The Way. I was shooting in Texas, and I was shooting a scene where Danny Goki represents Jesus on the boat with his disciples. And I called up David and Nicholas. I said, "Would you guys like to fly to Texas and be two of Jesus's disciples?"
Oh.
They got right on that plane and flew. And it just makes me smile every time now when I'm watching the film, and I just kind of go, there they are.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So the movie's coming out in August?
It comes out in August.
The Way.
It's called The Way. I don't know if you ever saw my first film that I ever directed. It's a short film. It's called The God Who Sees.
Okay.
And I wrote a song with Nicole C. Mullen called The God Who Sees. We thought we were writing a song about Hagar. Remember Hagar, who was left by bad thing that happened with Abraham and Sarah. Not their best episode.
Yeah.
Anyway, I love how the Bible tells all the dirty stuff too. Not the dirty stuff we were just talking, but I mean, the warts and it tells it all.
Humanity.
The humanity of us all, exactly. And so we were writing it in Little Franklin. She had to go on tour, and I had to come back to do the Today Show. So I said, I'll finish the song in Connecticut, where I was going home. And I started writing, and under the Holy Spirit, I kept writing. And I realized, because of my theater background, that I was really we weren't writing a song. We were writing a piece of theater. And so it went from Hagar to Ruth in her experience in the desert, going from Moab to Bethlehem. And then it went to David hiding in the desert from Saul, King Saul. And then it ended with Mary Magdalene, who was crying in the garden because her Savior, who had literally released her from 7 demons, that she couldn't find his body. And it was all those, and I said, okay, Lord. So our 3.5-minute song went to 11.5 minutes. I said, nobody's going to watch this thing. I just wrote it. She came to the studio. We did a demo on it. 95% of what you hear and see, if you see The God Who Sees, was one take by Nicole. She was so under the anointing of the Holy Spirit that I immediately said, you know what? I'm going to take a ton of the profits from the Rock, Road, and Rabbi book. It became a huge bestseller. I was sitting on $500,000 in royalties from it. It's sold now almost 700,000 copies. It's become a real important book for people who want to go deeper into the things of the Lord. Anyway, I had that money, and I was waiting. It was in my Kingdom account, and I said, Lord, I'm going to use that. I'm going to get all the players in the Nashville Symphony Orchestra, and we're going to get some of the best orchestrators in the world, and we're going to make it a thing that she can do in concert. You know?
Oh wow.
Well, it turned out so spectacularly. A wonderful man named Philip Kevenin. Here, everybody knows him in the music industry here in Nashville, did a magnificent orchestration. It was so anointed of the Holy Spirit. I said, you know what? We're taking the rest of the money and we're going to Israel. That's why when people say, have you retired? I said, I'm finally have my dream job. This is my dream
awesome.
job.
The most
And then what do you do after that? Oh my goodness.
Just more. I can't.
going.
More stories in the Bible, more books.
I love it.
More everything. I had my first little grandchild.
Oh, I can't wait.
So I'm sure.
You don't know if it's a boy or girl?
My husband. He's been gone about 7 years, and I still make the mistake sometimes. My son and his wife are expecting their first bride, and they don't want to. There's so few surprises left in the world.
I know. That's how I felt. And everyone, I got forced into finding out my first. Second one, the doctor accidentally slipped. And the third time, I was actually able to keep it a little surprise.
I do not have that kind of patience.
Oh, I thought the same thing. It's like it's the last good surprise. Like
I think so too. And I didn't have the luxury because I was going to go back to work about 5 weeks after the baby was born. So I had to be prepared for whatever it was going to be. So
that was, I have to say, when Tucker was born, I kept thinking, I thought I had the worst mother, like parental instincts ever, because I thought for sure it was a girl because everything was different. I had like afternoon sickness. I'd never really had any morning sickness with the other ones, but with him, couldn't get off the couch after 3 p.m. Different cravings, was carrying differently. You know, it just felt very different. I was like, oh, it's a girl. And then I'm giving birth. My husband actually delivered the baby, funny enough. The doctor let him deliver it. And my mom happened to be there. And my mom yells out, "It's a boy." And I was like, so she's the first one that said it. I went, wait, what? And I was like, how was I so wrong? But what was so fun was having to go shopping immediately, like leaving the hospital and going to the baby store and then like buying out. The woman literally goes, do you know how much this is going to be? Because I'm like literally at the register getting, now I need onesies and blankets and, you know, burp cloths and all this stuff. And I'm like checking out and she's like, she almost didn't want the sale. She was annoyed by how much she had to ring up. I was like,
she wasn't getting commission.
I have no clothes for this baby. I mean, I had some clothes because obviously I had 2 boys previous, so I kept a lot of it. But I was like, I need some new stuff for this baby.
So you literally have my 3 sons.
I do have my 3 sons.
That is adorable.
That was the first hashtag I used when he was born, funny enough.
And do you have children as well,
I have 3.
Yeah.
I have a 9-year-old son
Same as my little one.
6-year-old twin girls.
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
It graduated kindergarten.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah, adorable.
It was so cute.
So cute.
Well, you know, I'm ready for it. I never thought I'd have children because my husband, Frank, was 23 years older than I was to the day, actual same birthday.
Oh, wow.
Oh, how
And he was already a grandfather when we got married and didn't want any more children. And I had never been that kind of woman who just dreamed her whole life of being married and having kids. It wasn't, I mean, I didn't not want it. I wasn't fixated on my first marriage. It was impossible for us to have had a child. It was just a horrible experience. So anyway, and then I got married all those years later and to a man I never dreamed I'd, marry a man 23 years older.
True love.
And then all of a sudden, we're pregnant with Cody, and all of a sudden we're pregnant with Cass, and now they're 32 and 28, and I thought, I didn't know if they're going to have. I was just happy for them.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to love this child.
Oh, you're going to be the
desperately.
grandma. It's like,
You know what I'm going to be called?
what?
I don't want to be Glamma. I don't want to be Granny.
What
I
are
don't
you
want
gonna
any of those things. This beautiful man in my life that I just adore is his mother's Israeli, and so I asked her. I said, "What are most Jewish grandmothers called?"
Oh, yeah.
And she goes, "Bubi."
Oh.
It's short for bubula.
Yeah.
And I said, "That's what I'm going to
So
be."
you're
That's
Bubby.
such a
I'm
New York
not bub,
bubula.
not a bub, bub,
Bubula.
bubula.
I
But
think
be
we called my
careful.
little sister Bubula.
They'll get booby.
Well, the kids have a mind of their own with this stuff. My mother-in-law was determined she was going to be grandma, and she tried and she tried and tried, and she is now Meemaw because that's what came out.
Yeah.
So you're going to really have to practice that emphasis.
Oh,
on
trust me.
I have so many younger siblings that I have so many nicknames. Like no one could ever say, no baby can say Melissa.
Yeah.
So all my sisters called me something different. My sister Emily,
Mithy?
I was Nana. I was Jess. I was what was it? Jekka. I was called Jekka because she could say Jessica but not Melissa. So she liked Jekka better, so I became Jekka. So first I was Jekka, then I was Nana. I think I'm still Nana. Now I'm La 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 to my nephew. I'm Auntie La 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 because he couldn't say Melissa either.
Who was the Sally Field movie about with the woman with 20 personalities? Sylvia or
that's me.
something.
That's me.
I forget
I'm that.
what it was.
So proud of you and all the amazing work you're doing.
Oh, thanks.
But I need to ask you what your favorite fast food joint is.
Here
Let's shift
in
gears.
town? In
No, just
town?
in general. Is there a favorite? Is it In-N-Out? Is it Best Good Guys? Best. I was gonna say Best.
Five Guys?
Five
Five
Guys.
Guys.
Is it Best Guys?
In and out. Like
Is it like
drive-in?
Hattie B's? Is it?
I try not to. I mean, I do like the burger every now and then at the Tap House in
Okay,
Franklin.
okay.
I do love Mojo's quesadillas. I do love the beauty. I love the little restaurants all around.
But if you're like driving, let's say you have to take a road trip to LA and you're on the road and you got to stop.
you gotta stop.
What's the stop? Is it Chick-fil-A? Is it Wendy's? Is it Arby's? Is it?
Everyone's got one.
Yeah,
I
right.
guess it would have to be good old McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Oh,
Yeah, though it's never been the same since they took the animal fat out of the French fries. Never the same.
Oh, is that why they taste so like weird now?
They're not great anymore.
Wait, what's your order? Is it
Oh, it would
is it
be
a Big
quarter
Mac?
pounder with cheese.
Okay.
But I would take the bread off.
Oh, okay.
Quarter pounder with cheese and yeah.
And a fork.
No,
How do
I
you
just
eat it without the bread?
you gotta go.
you got to go for it.
Go for it.
You
just
got-
get a little messy.
Yeah,
Is there a TV show you refuse to watch?
I won't watch any of the Real Housewives.
Oh, really?
Oh, she's not a
Do you
reality
like
girl.
any reality, or is it specifically the Housewives?
No,
Do you
I
know
really-
too many of them? Is that why?
That's
So
fair.
you can read into all.
I just first of all, I know that they're totally not scripted, but there's no reality about any.
Yeah, yeah.
And, I've been, Kris Jenner tells her story in my book. And Kris has been a friend of mine for 40 years. And we go to Bible study together. And very few people are aware that she has a very, very deep walk with Jesus. She's, by her own admission, would say she's stumbled a whole lot in her life. And, but that I thought would be an interesting story for people to hear.
definitely.
For sure.
Yeah. Now, I've been accused of being, the worst Christian in the whole world all these years because I'm godmother to Kylie and Kendall.
Oh, okay.
And I've been there, when Bruce was Bruce and when Caitlin was Bruce, I mean, we traveled all over the world together and those girls were little.
Yeah.
And when I moved to New York a long, long time ago, of course, I didn't see them very often. And I obviously haven't had much of an impact on their life. But here's the thing, you guys, I love them.
Yeah.
I love them, and I'm not going to stop loving them. We're not allowed to stop loving people when they disappoint us or when they do or they act out or they do or they sin. I don't want anybody giving up on me because I sin every day. You know,
Yeah.
we got to stop that. We got to stop canceling each other. And we got to start doing what Jesus said to do, which is love one another as I have loved
It's
you.
funny that you bring that up because like this last weekend, my church, like that's what we dove into was that love one another, the new commandment.
Yes.
So yeah, I love that you're bringing that up so much today.
And
It's
if we're
awesome.
really doing it, Melissa, if we're really doing it, we don't have time to judge anybody.
No.
It's hard work to love people.
It's hard enough to just try to walk your own walk and behave
Exactly.
yourself in the way
It
you're
takes
supposed to behave,
everything I can
let alone
do.
judge someone else.
Exactly.
Yeah, it takes a lot of effort.
You know what I would love to do, though? Maybe next time I come to visit you guys, I'll bring you T-shirts. I really do want to make a T-shirt that says, very kindly, oh, I'm so sorry, but I think you're confusing me with somebody who cares what you think.
Meanwhile, I want to get you a bumper sticker. I was going to get one of these for Amanda that says, "If you tell me if you're," I bet you already have this on your car that says, "In case of what is it? In case of
Rapture.
oh my gosh, thank you.
In case of the rapture.
In case of rapture, this vehicle will be unmanned." So I got to get you one.
Oh.
I want to get one of those for Amanda. I actually have it in my Amazon cart, but
What
I haven't
about
done it yet.
unwoman?
Unwomaned, exactly.
All right. Is it okay to, on the air, put on a little lippy sticky?
Absolutely.
Go
I
for
think
it. We've got like
this is why I
5
can never
more
go to
pop
prison.
culture questions.
I can never go to prison. This is one of the reasons, because they will not let you have this.
What's your shade?
Oh, anything. It's just got to be nude.
All right.
You can't go to prison because you like your lipstick.
I got to have it. I got to
They
have
don't
it.
let you have lipstick in prison?
No,
Don't
they
they
won't
let
let you have
have-
lipstick.
There's
can
like
have
YouTube
porn,
videos
can't you?
about how they like make their own makeup with like food.
Oh, yeah, you could use like beats.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
sure they have access to beats. in
I
prison
mean, if you
often.
ask for them, maybe they'll give them to you. But here, how about this? How about
No,
this? How
no,
about
there's
prison?
another thing I have to have.
Oh, what's the other
It's got to be this and tweezers.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. What is
I
life
would
without
die
a good
without my
tweezer?
Without your tweezers? Oh,
No.
don't look at my eyebrows because I don't know the last time. I used to go have them done once in a while, but I can't find a place since I moved to Nashville. So.
Oh, I've got a place for you. I'll give you.
All
I'll
right,
give
you
you
gotta
the
give me
number.
all your
yes,
secrets.
yes. Well,
All
thank
right.
you
So,
for
what
that.
is a movie you don't understand the hype of?
I hated Pulp Fiction when it came out.
Really?
I was supposed to watch it for somebody was coming on my show with Regis, and I they gave me a screener, and I remember watching it, and I just it upset me.
Yeah.
My
it's pretty
spirit
brutal.
so much.
Yeah.
I said I am not gonna. I'm not gonna put in this stuff into my brain.
Did you have children at this time?
Yeah, I did.
See, I loved that movie. I was in college when the
Yeah.
movie came out, and I was obsessed with it.
Yeah.
So much so that I couldn't stand the fact that Forrest Gump won the Oscar over it. And I was so mad. I thought that was so unfair because I thought Pulp Fiction was such an interesting, and I feel like it did change the face of how we did storytelling. Like it put it out of order, but still connected. So characters that had really nothing to do with each other other than they were sitting in a diner at the same time or something. I thought that was really fascinating. But it's funny because I was a huge Quentin Tarantino fan.
Yeah.
But later on, when I had children, I
Yeah.
couldn't watch it. After Kill Bill, then I had kids. I haven't watched one of his movies
How are you
since.
gonna go
Right.
against Forrest Gump though?
Well, now I can appreciate
It's
Forrest
not
Gump.
the Alabama either.
As a college
okay?
girl in New York
It's
City at
the part of a
NYU.
masterpiece.
But at NYU, I don't know. Look, I wasn't a film school student, so I didn't really. I guess even though I was in the industry, I didn't really understand the industry and the storytelling and the way you can do storytelling. I thought he was way over the top. I thought that Tom Hanks was way over the top. That accent was ridiculous.
Well-
I thought it was all a little bit ridiculous. And then the fact that like all of a sudden Nixon's in it and there's
So you
Elvis.
married
and
a
I'm
man
like,
from
Yeah.
Alabama and
What?
realized how realistic that accent
Yeah.
is.
How realistic that
My
accent.
mom, what is it? My mom always say it. It
Life
was pretty
is like
thick.
a box of
Life is
chocolates.
like a box of chocolate.
And it's not just the accent. He had other things going on too. So it was
Well, it was just an over the top. It was a very developed character, and at the time, I couldn't appreciate it. I can now.
Yeah.
my
Thank
children
you.
actually love that movie, which is I find even more fascinating.
Right.
But I think as a teenage girl wearing my combat boots and like my goth New York City
No, I
girl,
can get that.
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction was
You know,
my
we
thing.
have seasons in our lives.
Yeah,
True.
but I've never seen Django Unchained or like I've never seen.
You know
his
which one I
last
did
few
like
movies.
was the Hollywood one.
What was it called? Hollywoodland.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
That would
Once
be
Upon
it.
a Time in Hollywood. Yeah, that was.
I thought that was interesting. That was about the Manson family.
However, I feel like that could have been done better. First of all, you can cut an hour out of that movie easily. Just don't have Brad Pitt on the roof with no shirt on. But like, I mean, I like
That's
that.
the only
part.
reason I liked it.
I did like it too.
Say,
Let's keep that part.
Let's
But
not
we really
cut that
didn't
part out.
need to. Like, you kind of thought that maybe that was going to lead to something. It didn't. Anyway, I digress. Is there a workout that you did that you maybe gave up on,
or that you love.
or that you love?
I'll tell you a workout that I cannot live without now. It's very unusual fitness routine. something called Mandu.
Oh, yeah.
MANDUU.
We've been
I've
talking
seen
about
this.
this.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, they said, first of all, they scan your body metabolically. They tell you, they said, look at your body fat. And and I had more body fat than I thought because I was skin and bones.
Yeah.
But he said, but look at your skeletal. He said, you're starving yourself to death and you don't even realize it. You are going to have osteoporosis. You're going to have if you don't start doing this. I said, what is it? He says, basically, in essence, and people can Google it or go online to Mandu, MANDUU, you become a human conduit for, I was there this morning, a human conduit for electricity. They basically dampen you down. They put you in a suit. They connect electrodes to you, and a current goes through you, not voltage. So you're not going to get zapped or anything.
I don't need
and you
frizzy
work
hair right now.
resistance against the current.
Watch what you say, sister.
Yours isn't frizzy.
You want to see something amazing? All right. This is only because I
right,
did this
okay.
on the Today Show, and it absolutely crashed the website. Okay, now remember, I was skeletal. Okay, I want you to see this.
Look at that bicep. Wow. That's from that program?
That I never had musculature in my life. I gained 14 pounds, all muscle. And
Wow.
last time I went in for my bone density test,
your
I had
arms.
started to lose my leg too. Same things. I had started to lose bone density. Because women do, especially when
Yeah.
you're in,
Oh, yeah.
I'm way up there, kids. I'm older than Methuselah. But anyway, still have my own teeth, though.
There you go.
Anyway, day is young. Day is young. Anyway, I was losing density, and they say you can stop bone loss, but you can't get it back.
Right.
I got it back, 9%.
Wow.
More bone density because of Mandu. So I suggest it especially for women.
Yeah.
So important.
Oh, we got to check it out.
Yes.
I know what we're doing this week.
Yeah. New program. We've
And
been
it's
doing
only
every kind of
15
workout.
minutes. It's
We're doing
15
everything.
minutes.
We do Pure Bar. We do Cycle Bar. We go to all these.
Orange Theory.
do you?
Spin, Orange Theory. We do all of walk.
I'm
This
so
morning
sore
we did a
today.
long walk. We
Yes,
did
well, try out Mandu and tell
Yeah,
them
we
Kathie
will.
sent you. I'm not the official spokesperson for them, but I said I'm still.
I think you need to be after that.
I'm still going to tell everybody I meet that this is something they need.
Yeah.
I'll do it for free because I just so believe
It's great
in it.
when you find something you like and it really makes a difference for you for sure.
Yeah. I hated yoga. I wish I loved it.
Oh yeah. No,
I wish
I
I
hate
loved
yoga
it.
because all I can do. They're like, just be in the room and think about your breathing. I'm like, I am not thinking about my breathing. I'm thinking about I'm laying there or I'm doing my downward dog, and I'm like thinking about all the things I have to do today. I need like
I'm
loud
thinking
music, a spin bike.
downward dog that your ass is up in the air. Somebody's
Did I
looking
wear the
behind
right
me.
leggings today?
Who's behind
I didn't
me?
mean to interrupt,
And
but
who
I knew we'd
farted?
get a laugh.
No, totally. No, it's always.
I'm the girl in the puddle on the mat, just laying there because
In
she
sweat.
peer pressured me into going.
Right.
Because I always want to do hot yoga because I feel like if I'm going to do yoga, I have to add the hot to it. So at least I feel like I'm like, getting toxins out or doing a sauna thing because I can't just be doing yoga. That's not enough.
Use my
I just
sauna.
don't love it. Yes, saunas are great. My daughter loves all of it. She'll get out of Mandu and she'll go over to a hot sauna. And I said, great. I don't.
No.
So, and I'm not going to continue on something that I don't.
Yeah, that's the thing.
First
I
of all,
love
within
spinning.
3 weeks, I started to have definition in my arms.
Oh, I gotta check this out.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So you work out while you wear this
Yes,
suit.
you work out. Yes, and there's
Okay.
there's one in. You probably go all over the place with your. There are
Yeah.
3 locations, and they're in Houston, they're in Austin, they're in Charlotte, North Carolina, they're in Birmingham,
Oh wow.
they're growing.
So like a
growing.
big city kind of franchise
Chicago, and
Very
opening
cool.
up in Florida. So I'm happy to tell everybody all about it.
Yeah.
I actually showed my arms to Dr. Oz about 1.5 years ago, and he'd been real concerned about me being so thin. And I showed it to him. He said, Kathie, all right, this is a game changer.
You're like Madonna. You're like Jack.
I know.
But she works out. You know what it's equal to? 15 minutes of Mandu is equal to between a 6 and 8 hour full on gym workout.
Oh my gosh.
We're doing this.
I'd rather do that than 6 to 8 hours in the gym.
And it works
I
out
hate being in the gym.
95% of your musculature in your
Oh my
whole
gosh,
body.
That's awesome. All right, I'm going to check that out.
Okay.
So next question is, what's your favorite genre of books? Well, you said you don't really read a lot of books right now because you're always writing them.
When I did read them, I loved sweeping biographical tales.
Okay.
Yeah, there's my friend named Allison Pataki who writes incredible historical novels.
Oh, wow.
I love historical novels. She's the daughter of the long time ago. He was the governor of New York, George Pataki.
Oh,
his
yes, of
daughter.
course.
And she, if you want to check out some of the most riveting, they're historical biographies, real people. That's why I loved Amy, and that's why I fell in love with her. I read probably 15 books about her.
Yeah.
Couldn't get enough. But I don't like fluff.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I made my living for so many years being silly. I had to be silly.
You had to know everything about pop culture.
I had to know all of that stuff. And I said, and yet I'm about 5% silly in real life.
Yeah.
I'm serious about stuff. And
You're passionate about stuff.
I'm really passionate.
Because you are silly.
I love to be silly.
And
It's a great antidote to so much seriousness.
You've got a great sense of humor and another gift.
Yes.
Is there a podcast that you enjoy? Like a
there's one I hated, my own.
Oh no!
I did one for about a year and a half, and I didn't enjoy it.
No,
because I didn't get to do them in person very much.
Oh.
And I got tired of sitting in my little podcasting booth, my downstairs I have a recording studio in my house in Connecticut. And my husband would say to me, "Are you going potting today?" And I'd go, "I'm going potting." But I would sometimes sit there for like 10 minutes waiting for somebody to get on the other end. Or they do it when they're in a car and bad connections.
And you couldn't use it.
And I'm so spoiled from doing live television and live theater my whole life. And it just
having
seemed,
that sort of back and forth.
Yes.
And,
Yes. So it wasn't fun.
Is there a podcast, though, that you do enjoy, that you love to listen?
I just don't have any time. I don't drive around a whole lot. So that
Okay.
lot. And when I'm walking, I love to go for long walks, but I'm usually working on lyrics or I'm on the phone. I try to do a lot of my office work. I just
You stay connected.
Yeah, the thing I do for fun, and the only thing I do for fun is antiquing.
Oh, really?
I love interior design. That's what I would have done as professionally had I not gone into I do it now with scenic design as a director.
Yeah.
But I probably should do all these things. Read other people's books,
No.
other than Joanne's. Listen to other people's
You're
podcasts.
so busy with your own content.
I've never been busier.
And it's great that you dive into it, because I get so overwhelmed with other people's art and oftentimes ignore my own.
Yeah.
Kind of the opposite. Do you have a favorite reading spot? Like somewhere you like to,
Yeah.
or let's say writing spot for you?
Yeah. In Connecticut, it was my husband's chair. Recliner and leather, beautiful, like Ralph Lauren leather reclining chair. It's just beautiful. It's actually in the room that he passed in. And I still love sitting in it, even though I found him in that room. This was the look on his face. I said, he saw Jesus and Jesus took his breath away. And I actually ended up writing a song called that with Brett James here in town. And it was my first number one on iTunes.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the song called?
No, not iTunes. What is it? He saw Jesus.
Spotify, or?
He saw Jesus. Yeah, it was he's a great writer, but So, but here I have a sofa that I turn my fireplace on even in the summertime.
Yeah.
Because I'm up at like 3 in the morning, and I like my fireplace. It just comforts me. Yeah.
Well, we need you to pull your phone out, because now we need to know how many unread emails you have, because this is how we judge people.
I think you can judge me very easily, because guess what?
Some people are my people and some people are Amanda's
I bet
people.
you can't guess how many I have.
I'm good. Let's see. Is she your
I
people
bet
or my
she's
people?
Team Amanda.
You think she's Team Amanda?
I think
All right.
so.
I'm going to guess that you have upwards of, if you're Team Amanda, we're going to say upwards of 10,000 emails unread.
I have 0.
Oh, she's my people.
She's Team Melissa.
Because I don't do email.
Oh.
cheating.
Everybody in my family that loves me, or when all that started, said, "Don't do email, Mom. It's going to control your life. You're going to hate it."
Do you write cards? Are you a writer? Oh, I love that. I try to write
out
cards.
everything I do, whether it's a Broadway musical or a movie.
handwrite everything.
Handwrite
Oh my
everything.
gosh, I don't know
on
what I would
legal
do
pads.
without my notes app on my phone.
You'd
That's where I
handwrite it like
keep
her?
everything.
I like the process of writing, and I like to be able to see my mistakes and how I changed one word for then. I like to if you just autocorrect it or whatever, it's gone.
Do you have nice handwriting?
I bet she does.
Not when I'm writing books.
No.
When I'm writing.
Can you do shorthand?
Not really. No.
Maybe this is the new thing you need to learn is some short.
I'm trying to learn how to paste and copy and things like that.
Yeah. Well, I think back to the podcast thing real quick. I wanted to tell you. I think it was it Patty Heaton that suggested the Tim Keller podcast you might enjoy.
How is he doing? I know he's been battling health issues.
I actually don't know, but I think is Patty
I
friendly
have no
with him?
idea. I just know that she said don't listen to it while you're falling asleep or you will have nightmares.
Oh yeah,
you
that's
can't
right,
turn
that's
him
right.
off.
She did have.
I've listened to several. I've been to its church in New York. My brother was a pastor in New York. So he and his wife Kathie are very, very, very sweet people. But yeah, Tim Keller, you know what? He's like a modern C.S. Lewis.
Yes.
He's really, really. You know who else does a great one? Eric Metaxas.
Oh, okay.
I only know from not listening to him, but doing him with him.
Yeah.
You know who Eric is?
I don't.
Eric Metaxas wrote Bonhoeffer. Eric Metaxas wrote the book Amazing Grace that Patty Heaton did the movie from.
Oh.
Talk about great historical biographies.
Yeah.
Bonhoeffer, John Newton. Well, actually, it was a man who was William Wilberforce, who's the one that stopped a 20-year effort to stop the British slave. What would you call it? Well, British slave trade.
Oh wow.
Okay. It
Okay.
was a man of God who was a white privileged man of God. He was a member of Parliament, and he became a devout Christian and knew that slavery was innately wrong and evil. And he literally, for 20 years, dying of chronic illness. It's one of the best. That's one of the best movies I've ever seen. Patty and her husband produced it.
Amazing Grace.
Yes.
Wow.
If you've never
Okay.
seen Amazing Grace, it is brilliant.
All right. Yeah, I haven't.
Brilliant.
I have to see that.
Yeah.
We should have had her talk about. She was one of our first guests.
She was our guinea pig.
Oh, she's a
actually.
great.
She's
She's a great
fun.
woman.
She's
I
fabulous.
love her.
All right.
Well, Amanda has a list of this or that.
Ooh, I don't know what that is.
It's
but
literally just going to be one thing or the other, and you just
they're
have to
very
decide
surface and fun.
as best you can.
Okay. Batman or Superman?
Oh, not Batman. Superman.
All right.
Although Batman had a cool car.
He did.
But Superman can fly.
Fly.
I don't know. Superman had a family. There was something about Clark Kent just being so nerdy and cute. Yeah.
I kind of married a Clark Kent.
That's Amanda.
Little
You
bit.
did marry
Yes,
a Clark
he's
Kent.
handsome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Okay. This one is controversial, I feel like. Natural tan or spray tan?
Natural tan. Although you got to be careful with it. You know, it's
Well, you're up there on the coast in Connecticut, right?
yes. But I haven't gotten in the sun in over 20. Well, since I was 20.
Wow. Look at you protecting that skin.
If I
Got
wanted
that
to be in
muscle
this
tone.
business, I just thought I better take care of it. I mean, you get it anyway, even if you're not trying. But
My left side. I've been. I did that laser thing recently to get rid of some sunspots.
yeah.
And my left side. I've actually seen this before on one of those UV ray.
Yes, it's awful. that shows
Screenings on your left side because of the car. Driving in the car.
especially in LA.
I get all these
Yeah.
sunspots on the left
on
side.
your left arm.
Yep, I do my hands. I make sure I sunscreen my hands.
I've got to
Yep.
start doing that. All right, we already know the answer to this one now. Mascara or lipstick?
Well, I love mascara, but I cannot live without lipstick and gloss. My friends find like 20 of my lip glosses everywhere. They're in everybody's pockets. I'm everywhere with my.
I don't think I have any. I have chapstick.
You're a chapstick girl.
See, I'm not. Yeah. Okay.
I don't like anything on my lips. My mom actually used to put lipstick on me when I was little in order to get me to shut up. Because if you put it on me, I won't move my lips. I hate the way it feels.
You're a strange.
I know.
You don't
She's
like
a
your
rare
I might
bird.
think
like
you're a
your
little strange.
husband's lips on your lips.
Oh, I love my husband's lips, but I don't want crap between me and him. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah.
I don't want a layer. I just want to feel the lips. I don't want to feel all the shiny stuff on my lips.
Feel the lips. That's going to be the new quote.
Feel the
Feel
lips.
lips.
Okay.
Feel the lips.
The boys are saying, this is going to descend into madness. Okay.
It does quickly when it happens. Chess or Scrabble?
I haven't played either one in so long. And the other night, we had a long Scrabble game.
Oh, it's my favorite.
And it was fun. It was fun, although it seemed like they added so many more ways to count.
Oh,
When I started playing it in the 1800s,
Double letter.
you didn't have any of that stuff. You got a 1 for you got 4 points.
You got 1 point.
Was it 4 the most
I
or
don't want to
something?
do math the whole time I'm doing the whole daggone thing.
It's Sudoku and Scrabble put together now.
I'm not a game person that way. When my kids were little, we played games, but it's not the kind of evening I'd choose to do.
My 9-year-old has recently discovered Life, and that's one I will play.
Life was fun.
I love Life because you can get through it kind of quickly.
Clue was fun.
Clue is fun. That's
Yeah.
true. I should show him Clue now that he's because we've done Life a few times recently.
Yeah, Clue is good.
All right. Sand or snow?
Sand. I can't take the snow anymore. I've
Me
had
neither.
too many
Too many years
winters,
of shoveling.
Too many winters in New
Connecticut.
York.
Too
Driveway.
far north for me. I don't know how anybody does further north. Twizzlers or red vines?
Twizzlers.
Yeah, she's New York. See, you're
but
East Coast.
But black licorice. They at Sprouts, they have the best black licorice. I know a lot of people don't like it. I love it, love it, love it.
Isn't that what Good and Plenty's are?
I now know who to save my black jelly beans for.
Or give her Good and Plenty's.
No, see, I don't like jelly beans.
Not even the Jelly Belly ones?
No, I'm not a jelly bean person either. Skittles.
That's guys.
I hate those little peeps. They're demon possessed.
I love Peeps.
I love the way
love
they look.
Peeps.
But, oh.
No,
Yeah.
the sugar crunching.
Oh,
peeps.
no, they're gross.
With the marshmallow. Oh, I love it.
I love to show
love
my
it, I
kids
love it.
how they'll explode in the microwave. Though.
What?
If you
I
put
still have some from Easter. I might have to try that.
Go home, put one in the microwave, and they just like blow up.
Then you
And
got
then
to
they go-
clean it up.
You can make s'mores with those too, you know.
Yeah, but it's not
Maybe
a
I'll
real
save the Peeps for
marshmallow.
Another thing I hate, s'mores.
Ew.
Oh, really? I've recently learned how to make them really well. I've been doing a lot of s'mores in the last few years.
Is there
Gotten really good
So
at
what
it.
would you choose, s'mores or sushi?
Sushi.
Every time.
S'mores. It's fish. Fish versus like
Oh,
Really good
no,
sushi.
it's
marshmallow
more than
and chocolate.
fish.
What's wrong with
Well,
you?
that's what I'm going to do after I'm going to go and get
You're
some
gonna go get sushi.
after
I'm gonna go
this.
get Peeps.
Nice. I'm gonna go parent. Okay. This one is for your taste in men here. Facial hair or clean shaven?
I'll go clean shaven with a little bit of,
A little scruff.
yeah.
Okay.
So I don't like, I think your husband's beard is very handsome.
Oh, thank you.
No, there's some men that look beautiful with beards. I mean, Governor
pull it
Huckabee looks so much better with a beard than without.
Yeah.
And so does Sean Connery.
Oh.
You know that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it depends on the man.
That's true. That is
Yeah,
true.
so-
and if you're used to seeing them, like if it's someone like Sean Connery and you're used to seeing him with a beard, I think it'd be weird to see him without. But my husband, for 15 years, no beard, and then all of a sudden he grew this nasty beard,
It
and I
was
was like,
not nasty.
it reminded me of my dad's friend Ned, and I was like, I am not kissing Ned.
Yes.
You need to shave that thing, or
Yeah.
I will never kiss you again. It's going up my nose. Like it probably smells like food, but I won't get close enough
Yet,
to find
however,
out.
Oh,
Every
no,
man
this
that
is-
we ever agree is handsome has a beard.
Has a beard. It's true.
So she says she's anti-facial hair, but I'm not buying.
I like when my husband. I like this. I agree with you. Scruff. I like when my husband has scruff.
I like
yeah.
that. And it also means he's relaxing some,
Yeah.
No, he doesn't have to keep to, yeah.
Do it every day.
I kind of like, I think it's sexy. Okay.
Television show or movie?
Movie.
All right.
A good one.
Oh, we know the answer to this one too. You've given us so much information today.
Really?
Yeah.
Too much?
Plucked or threaded? And we know the answer to
Oh,
this
plucked.
because your love of tweezers.
Yes, yeah. Well, it's not so much my love of tweezers, it's my hate of errant hairs.
Oh, there you go.
I've told I will never lie in state because hair keeps growing after you're dead.
That's true.
And so, I just,
There's a risk.
once
there.
if I am completely and totally, what's the word, gone in my mind, my daughter knows that she must pluck me. I would be so embarrassed if anybody saw, gray chin hairs on me.
There have been some actresses recently, I won't name names, that have come out as wanting to be very natural. But I'm like, okay, I get that. I get if you don't want to do stuff, to your face to change, but like pluck. Like you can pluck a little
One
bit.
time,
grooming. It's
I was
different.
Like a little bit of grooming, a little bit of housekeeping, as
I was at
opposed
this
to like
event. I'm sorry to interrupt.
no.
Some of the things that you said. I was at this event, and this very elegant woman, and she was beautifully dressed, and I go up to her, and we're talking, and I go like this because I thought she had,
no.
and she goes, "It's supposed to be there."
Oh no.
I said, "Well, every good deed, no good deed goes unpunished."
goes unpunished. Yeah.
Body admin people.
Yeah, body admin.
Important.
That's Amanda has her body admin days.
Yeah,
Wednesday is body admin day.
that's yeah.
After Pure Bar, after our Wellness Wednesday coffees.
And soon Mandu.
And then Mandu. and then
And it's eyelash day.
and then body admin day.
I got your eyelash girl for you. I've got your brow girl for you.
Oh, brow. I need, yes, I'm going to need brows. This one over here does the lashes.
I'm a cupcake. I'm telling you, after COVID, I realized
What does
how
that
high
mean?
maintenance I am.
Is a cupcake high maintenance?
I think I'm high maintenance.
Is it because you need the sprinkles
I
and
need
all the
all
stuff
the
on
icing,
top?
all the sprinkles.
All the icing? Pretty little wrapper?
I thought for most of my life, I had myself convinced I was low maintenance. And then COVID hit and my nails grew out and my eyelashes fell out. And I was like,
And you were sad?
I am not low maintenance.
You were a sad little girl?
I felt like I didn't recognize myself.
So I used to, when I was doing my show, Melissa and Joey, I went through this phase where on shoot days, we'd have this woman come in and do threading. So I'd hire her to like thread me and then everybody else, but then I'd get my makeup done too. So I started breaking out like crazy. I think it was a bad idea to
do
open
both
up your
at the same
pores
time.
and then shove a bunch of makeup in them for the night. But she was the cutest thing. She would thread me and I'd be like, oh, then I'd look in the mirror and I'd be like, and she would do my whole face, like everything.
Oh, I didn't know you could thread your whole face.
Oh, she would do every little tiny white fuzzy little blonde hair on my face and plus my eyebrows and everything else. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'd look in the mirror and go, thank you. One day I was like, you made me look so beautiful. Thank you. She goes, no. You're already beautiful. You're like a chandelier. I just dust.
Oh,
I just dust away the dust and you glisten. I was like,
oh, that's so nice.
But then I started breaking out so much I couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
And it is painful.
I'm developing a amazing. I'm loving the results. Line of skincare now.
Oh.
And we've been trying to do it for like 4 years. It's all everything in it is basically from the Bible.
Oh.
So it's
Talk
all like
to me.
all the things that are mentioned. There's over 200 things mentioned in the Bible. The oils and the
Oh,
balm
wow.
and yeah. So it's
Is there
fun.
frankincense and myrrh in it?
No, I don't know. Not yet.
I'm like, those are the ones I know from the Bible.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
So
where'd you get your beautiful cross necklace?
This is her stories in my book. Kristen Chenoweth, whom I adore and have always and forever.
Huge fan over here. You know this.
Yeah, she's an amazing human being. She was on my show for something, and she was wearing this cross. And I said, oh, my gosh, that's my favorite cross ever because it's got the long center
Pretty.
bar. And I said, I've never seen a more beautiful cross. Can you tell me where to get it? She goes, no. She said, well, I designed it. And she said, and I did manufacture them before for HSN or something. She said, but I don't anymore. And so she starts to take hers off to give it to me.
Giving you the
and I
shirt off
said,
her
I
back.
am not going to take that. No, I cannot. I love it. A couple of days later in the mail, I get 2 of them.
Oh.
So I gave one to my daughter. And
How special.
yeah,
Beautiful.
I hardly ever take it off.
Yeah, it's really stunning.
amazing.
Thank you.
Really stunning.
Thank you.
It's probably the best one I've ever seen.
It is really beautiful.
You know, because it glistens.
I wish you'd make them again.
Yeah, everybody wants this. And I
Kristen,
wear it.
if you're listening, we need jewelry.
You wearing it in the book?
Well, not the last book. The last 2 books.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Last 2 books. That sounds so pretentious. I'm so sorry.
Out of your 27.
Oh. You've had a really long career and you deserve all the ground.
Yes.
Oh,
very
we're
proud.
So proud
I
of
wrote
you.
the first one when I was 21 years old and totally forgot I had written a book when I was 21. It was published, had 3 publications, and I totally forgot.
That's what happens.
I hope I
tap
get
dance
so
with
far
Dick
in
Van
a
Dyke.
career one day that I forget my accomplishment.
Well, I've told this story so many times, but I tap danced with Dick Van Dyke and I can't remember it.
Oh, no, that you got to try to remember.
I know. I actually looked back at the pictures. I thought about why I wouldn't remember it, and then I remembered that I got really nervous
Oh, sure.
and was so focused on the steps. And he was whisked in and whisked out, and all I was worried about was not messing up the dance, I think.
Right.
So I focused on the dance, not on the man. And didn't
Right.
enjoy the experience of being with him because I was so nervous I was going to screw it up. It wasn't live, it was on tape, but I think I was still, he's coming in, he's got a few minutes, he's going to tap dance with you. So
Not to top your story, but I got murdered by
Dick Van
Dick
Dyke?
Van Dyke.
And she's got we all have Dick Van Dyke connections.
Yeah, we all have.
Well, Regis is the one that murdered me in it, but it was his show.
Oh, yes, of course. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Did you play yourself?
Yes, we played our. No, we didn't. Did we play ourselves?
But you were like talk show hosts
Yeah.
and there was a murder committed on the set or something?
Yeah, I guess we played.
That's fabulous.
That's fabulous. And then her husband produced a movie for him, right?
Yeah, short for him.
Lovely, lovely,
About
lovely
his-
man.
his-
Yes.
We hope to have him
Hometown.
on. Actually, he's one of our guests that we want to get next time we go to LA. We're hoping
Oh, you do it from LA. That's
to get him.
Every
yeah.
once in a while.
Yeah, so we did.
You
4
should get
from him.
China Phillips.
Oh yeah.
China's terrific. China has a. It's not a podcast. It's a. What is it when you your own YouTube channel?
Oh yeah.
She's lovely. I was just with her the other day. You know
She
who I was
nearby?
with? I invited her to this luncheon. Lori Loughlin.
Oh, yeah.
Lori's doing so well.
Well, we just had Candace Cameron Bure on, who's
Yeah.
a good friend of hers. So
Yeah.
she live in town? Do they live here? Or in
No,
LA?
they're in LA.
They live in Los Angeles.
Okay.
But,
Well,
anyway.
this
Is
has
this
been...
the big? Is this? Am I getting the big rush now? I'm getting
No.
No, I just like...
You can stay as long
this
as
has
you
been-
want.
I can't stop.
We
thinking
don't
about
want to keep
sushi
you
now.
I know. Now you're going to go have sushi and I'm going to go get my peeps. But first I need that name of your eyebrow person.
I'm going to get it for you as soon as we're off.
And everybody out there, I hope you guys will go and support Kathie Lee's amazing books and songs, and hopefully your play comes back, and we'll say some prayers for
movie coming out in
Scandalous, and the movie
August.
coming out the way.
So
right?
much
I know. I'm tired.
It's amazing. No,
Go
you're
take a
not.
nap.
You are not tired. I can see you're like.
I used to take a nap all the time. I haven't taken them in years now. And I had one the other day, and I woke up from my nap and thought it was the next morning. It was so
That's
rare.
a good nap.
It was like an hour, I guess, but I just don't.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I feel you. I accidentally took a nap yesterday. My son was in tutoring, and I kind of dozed off on the couch. And a few minutes later, the dogs were barking, and I think I felt like it had been a while. But I was like, "Where am I? What's going on?" But
Well,
those are good.
When my guy takes me home to my house today, I want to go in and get you guys. I ran out so fast because a friend of mine was called, and I wanted to bring you guys wine.
Oh,
So-
yeah, because you have a winery too.
Yeah.
Because you don't have enough.
It's
I
gift
did
wines,
gift
right?
wines. Yeah.
I've had it before. It was a gift to me, actually.
It's really, really, really
They're
good
delicious
wine. Yeah,
wines.
yeah.
All right, we'll
yeah.
check this. So, where can everybody go to find you? So you don't do email, but do you have an Instagram?
Yes. I think it's Kathie L. Gifford.
Okay.
And
People can find you on Instagram to
Yes,
keep up with all
and
of your
Twitter. I do a different. I stay out of politics completely because Billy Graham told me to, and
Yeah,
I obeyed Billy.
Good idea.
I said, Kathie, just keep telling people that Jesus loves them.
Yeah.
Because you're going to lose half the people if you start talking about politics, and you might win a whole bunch if just tell them that Jesus loves them.
Oh, that's so good.
That's
Yeah.
a
Great message. Well, thank
So
you for
Jesus
being
loves
here.
you guys.
Jesus loves you too, obviously.
I think
'cause
Jesus is proud of you.
he's so proud of you.
That's so sweet of you.
So proud of you.
Oh,
Oh, my
I'm
gosh,
glad-
that's your new T-shirt. Jesus is proud of you.
Yeah, grateful to God for all the good things that are happening in your life, but totally aware you could screw it up at any moment because you're
That's
human.
right.
Thank you so much for coming
Pleasure.
in.
You guys
Come
are
back
adorable.
anytime.
All right, what are you
Promote your
doing tomorrow?
Next movie
Okay.
No, actually,
we'll be here
here.
too. Come on in.
Well, let's go on a power walk or something together.
Let's do that for sure.
Would love that.
Yeah. Thanks, girl.
Love you. Love you guys.
Love you.
So nice to meet you.
Thank you guys for joining us here at What Women Binge.
Can you do us a favor and give us an Apple Podcast review? It helps a lot.
Yeah, and while you're at it, you can follow What Women Binge on Instagram.
And follow me on Instagram at Amanda WWB.
If you like listening to the podcast, you would love seeing it. So you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Melissa Joan Hart Official, for full episodes, bonus content, and so much more. What Women Binge is produced by Laugh-O-Gram Studios. Our wonderful theme song was written and produced by my cute husband, Mark Wilkerson. Video production by Matt Giesler and Jay Hawley. Audio by Matt Lott. Production assistant Jen Best. And she is the best. What Women Binge is distributed by Podcast Heat. For more information, visit podcastheat.com. Do you have a question or a comment or a topic you want to suggest for the show? Well, we are listening. Email us at wwbquestions@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you.